Ladies and gentlemen of the world, hello, I'm Mr. OT, and today I'm going to go over all of my camera equipment, and as well as I have some special guests joining with me today. I'm going to go over my head camera. This is my GoPro Hero 7 Black. I've had this for about 2 years. It's, I mean, it's really superb for what it is. I've had some friends upgrade to the newer GoPros, and I've personally have never had a reason to upgrade this just yet. I usually set this at 1080p, 24 frames per second. If you're going to be doing a little bit of slow motion in your content, I would highly recommend probably going about 60 frames per second. The reason I stick to 24 frames per second at 1080p is the battery space and as well as SD card space. So the SD cards I normally run are the, I don't know if that's going to pick up because it's so tiny. The camera is not really wanting to work with me, but these are 256 gigabytes. So with the stability on the 256 gigabyte, 1080p, 24 frames per second, I'm averaging about 10 hours worth of footage for the settings that I have on here, which is perfect. Really awesome camera. So normally how I have my head cam is I usually have it on my hat. So if you're wondering what this is actually a GoPro head strap that you would wear typically if you were wearing a beanie, or if you're ludicrous enough to not play airsoft without any headgear. So what I did was I pretty much just bolted it down to the brim of my hat, and this thing's just not going anywhere. That's like my only GoPro mod that I've ever done, even though that I know they make other hats that's specifically for GoPro mounts, but hey, life gives you lemons, right? If you are wearing a helmet, I normally don't wear helmets, but if I'm doing a much longer event, typically I will. This is a brain exploder mount. These usually go for about $35. Really impressive quality on this. Like you could tell it's 3D printed, but it's really nice. It's very sturdy and it's not going to go anywhere, and it's not going to break your camera. And what I'll typically do is have a battery bank in the back along with my Xbox, so that way I'm guaranteed a much longer gameplay video. With a battery bank, the one that I was using, I got roughly maybe an extra 2, maybe 3 hours out of it before I had to switch and get extra batteries. And now we're going to go ahead and go over Scopecams. So these are my Scopecams. They are both RunCam 2s. This is a 35mm and this is a 25mm. I have also had the Scopecam Lite, which was my very first Scopecam that I no longer have with me, and that's totally okay. Life goes on. I really enjoy the Scopecam Lite. For $99, it gets you what you need, and it actually has a battery indicator. I do have a battery bank to go with this, so I don't have to deal with a bunch of beeps all day long. So these will go for about $129, and I'm telling you, for what it is, I recommend it. But for starting off, I would definitely recommend getting the Scopecam Lite. For one, it's budget friendly, and two, has a battery life indicator, and these they take the same batteries as these, so whenever you do upgrade, you'll have spares. So really, to get into airsoft gameplay videos, you really just need a good head cam and a scope cam. But maybe you want to spice it up a little bit, you know. So this is where the selfie/shoulder cam comes into play. You have quite a few options if you want to run multiple cameras, which is not a necessity. But if you want to spice up your content, let your audience kind of get a feel of what's going on around you, here's some cameras that I recommend. For a selfie camera, I would recommend something like this. This is a GoPro 5 Session. They don't make these anymore, and I actually got a really good deal from this. Shout out to HKWIDM for this. I really appreciate it, bro. Has an internal battery about an hour and a half long on a full charge. Really, if you wanted to, you could definitely hide a battery bank somewhere on your gun. Because of how low profile this is, it will work fantastic. Now, as far as mounting with your selfie cam, this is what I use. This is by Fantaseal. Yeah, just take like a simple Allen key and you put it on your put it on the rail of your gun, and if you really wanted to, bam, So you can have your selfie cam and your scope cam facing you, as a little example. I have yet to use this as a selfie cam. I have used the GoPro Hero 5 Black, which I got a really good deal on it. I believe the e-commerce is still going on Amazon, which I paid $180 something for it. For what it's worth, it's a really great budget-friendly camera. The sound quality is not the best, but the image is superb. And if you want to get into shoulder mounts, and if you really want to spice things up, let me introduce you to the GoPro Max. Now, the GoPro Max is a 360 camera. I believe this is the second one. I forgot exactly what the first one was called, but I've heard a bunch of mixed reviews on it. But I've used this quite a few times, and I absolutely love this. I've used this as a selfie cam, as a matter of fact, in some of my gameplay video. The only thing is that it is a giant eyesore as far as like camera wise. Like, you just see like a giant square on your gun versus something like this or another GoPro. Amazon does sell a bunch of shoulder mounts that can attach to either a backpack or a plate carrier. You know, just something that can be able to hold it on your shoulder, no problem. I've yet to use shoulder cams, but my good friend Hale Airsoft, who will make a brief appearance in this video, will explain how he has his setup. I'm going to bring in some of my fellow YouTube friends. So, Soda, go ahead and take it away.
Hi everyone, my name is Tina. I go by Soda on the Airsoft field, and I'm here to help out with a camera review for Mysteries YouTube channel. I reached out and asked to do a little video, so here's my suggestions. GoPros. You can't go wrong with them. I've had the Hero 7 for quite a while, and it's been put up with a lot of abuse. I've broken the lens, the whole lens is shot out here, which is a great thing. I don't actually end up using it too much often, which is fine. If you do go with the GoPro 7 or any of the 7s, I know they're a little bit expensive, but I definitely suggest going with the GoPro for overall stabilization, and ditch the case, that waterproof case that most people get to protect the lens. Buy yourself some extra lenses. They're cheap to have on hand, they're fairly reliant. I think I've only had to replace this once so far, and there's actually a BB mark like right here on the lens, and so far it's been great, it's been fantastic. The sound quality with no case is by far better than the waterproof case, because you can hear the camera shaking and it kind of diminishes the quality of the audio around you. After you get the GoPro, I definitely highly suggest going for a Scopecam. Nothing's worse than watching people's outdoor videos and not being able to see where they're shooting or what they're shooting at. And I ditched the protective lens cover that majority of people have on the rails to protect their scopes, and I've just picked up extra lenses. I've already broken this once. The quality of the camera was fine. Lens replacement was super easy, and it was just, they're 10 bucks each, and I think the video quality yet again is great. If you're planning to do longer events like Milsim West or AMS or even Line Call, I highly suggest buying batteries. Lots of batteries. This way you'll never have to turn your camera on and off and miss content. I've missed content so many times when I only had 1 or 2 batteries and I was trying to save battery power. It makes it easier to edit your videos too. I found another issue with trying to link up my videos or where I was with my Scopecam. It took a lot more time versus just buying a bunch of batteries and calling it good. And the great next thing is a case. I highly suggest if you end up getting all of these items after a while, get yourself a nice little case. It doesn't have to be a Pelican case, just any case to have it to travel wise. So everything is compact and together. Cables in there. Extra power banks, so when your batteries do go down and you need more of them for the longer day events and you don't have access to power, it's fantastic that way. Extra SD cards. You never know when you're gonna lose one's gonna break, or it's not gonna film. I think I have 3 or 4 on me, usually at all times. I have 100 gig and like 64 gig. Highly suggest getting extra cards, just in case you can cycle them out if you do have a longer event and you don't have anywhere to dump all the footage. But that's my suggestion for cameras. Go with the GoPros, get yourself a Scopecam, and you're on your way to becoming YouTube.
Hey guys, it's Joker here at Action Pursuit Games of Brandon, and I wanted to show you my airsoft camera setup. First up, I have my GoPro Hero 7 Silver. I use it as my main camera. Super easy to use with this brain exploder mount. Just hit the power button, hit my record button, and she's ready to go. This brain exploder mount for my GoPro is actually really easy to use. Just lift the camera up, There's little prongs here. You lift these up and pull it out. Super easy, super simple. Boom, done. Next up, I have my Contour Roam 3 with RAZE mods. I use it for primarily night ops. When I have night vision, I'll simply use the Velcro I have on this side and I will stick it to the side of the helmet and it holds just that easy. It's simple to use, unlock, slide, and it's recording.
Hey guys, I'm Pheas Airsoft and I'm here to talk to you about my particular camera setup. So in terms of Scopecam, I use the RunCam 2 Scopecam and I've got the 40mm. I kind of bought that and did question a little bit afterwards after seeing some of the footage that might have gone a little bit over the board then. I should have got one of the lower millimeter lenses just because, particularly AEG range, because that's all I play. It's potentially a little bit close and it offers a little bit too close a view and definitely would have been probably better for a sniper. Bought this £5 little battery pack from a local store and basically just run it, literally get home modded on with some black electrical tape. I'm going to upgrade this to some black duct tape and I run it literally like that and make sure that this is set to 1080p, maximum 60 frames a second, although it's usually 30. The reason I do that is several reasons. One, battery life. It allows the battery to last longer with recording. Two is the video sort of size. People tend to only watch it in 1080p anyway, and the amount of storage you're going to burn through in a full day's play is absolutely massive. So I run it at 1080p. Depending on sort of what I'm playing, where I'm playing, I'll flip between 60 and 30, but usually 30 frames a second. Here is my GoPro case, a hard case that I've got and stickered up. I've got a GoPro Max, the 360 Max. Now, I've used this for a couple of years now. I was lucky to get this as a Christmas present, oddly enough. It's excellent, the video quality is excellent. I film in, again, 1080p, usually at 30 frames, sometimes at 60 frames a second, and I tend to run it on a head mount. Now, what I will say with this is it is a fantastic camera. I've not actually filmed a game in 360, and I should really do that, to be honest, just because I think it'd be cool, and being able to sort of pivot around in different shots and see what's going off would be cool. What I will say is that is quite a big, heavy camera on its own, with a mount to stick on your head. Now I did have and have got a metal case for it that sits around it that screws onto it to protect it. So in the rest of the case I've got various accessories and mounts and things like that. I've got a RAZE mount on there as well, so I can RAZE mount it if I want. I've got a couple of batteries, I've got battery in it already. If I was playing night games as well, I've got a little night light set up there that I can put in, so it's got a rechargeable battery pack. So then it lit up. So if I was going to night games or whatever, I can blind the enemy if I wanted to with my GoPro. A dual mount, so you mount that on your normal mount, you mount your torch on one side and your GoPro on the other side, and off you go. What I've just invested in is a GoPro 10. I've sort of treated myself. I got GoPro 10. At the time of buying this, GoPro had a good offer on where they basically did it for £370 for the GoPro 10 and an extra battery, one of the new Enduro style batteries, which is in there, which works better in cold weather, and a free 64 gig memory card as well. You do not need to rush out and buy top tier kit like this. To get started and get going, honestly, one of these $40 ones is a good starting point, and they can come in useful later on as well. When you do upgrade to something much higher end and better, they still make a good face cam if you want to mount one on your rifle facing you as a face cam. They make a good, even just temporary scope cam, I suppose, to an extent. They're not going to get you the quality of a scope cam, but they are, you know, a good cheap alternative. That is my camera setup that I run. It's mostly going to be the GoPro 10 and the Scopecam from now on. Now, in terms, I do want to sort of comment on editing. The software that I use is DaVinci Resolve. I've tried quite a few different products and I just found that DaVinci just worked the best for me, and it's completely free as well for the standard version. I hope you found that useful. I hope this has been insightful to you of the kind of stuff that I have, and thank you very much for letting me be part of this video. I'll see you next time.
Hey, what's up? I'm Hale, yeah. and I'm gonna tell you about the cameras that I use. So the main brand I use for my cameras is the Insta360 brand. And the reason why is because, well, one, they have a 360 camera that I love. It's my Shouldercam. And also, two, it's modular. So with each piece, it comes apart and I can actually switch out the lens module. Let's say it gets shot out, or if I just want to switch it over to having two wide K lenses, I can. And so this one right here is for my shoulder, and my helmet cam is the 4K wide lens. And for my gun cams, I use the RunCam Scopecam 2. Now, I have two different ones depending on where I'm at. I use this one normally for CQB environments. This is 25mm. And I use this one right here, the 40mm, for my sniper, or also just in woods area altogether, because with the brushes and the trees, it's like very hard to see already, so this kind of breaks through all of that. So you can get these for $139, and the Insta360 has a twin package to where you can get the 360 lens plus the 4K lens for $429, or you can get just the 4K for $299. If there's one thing I could tell you as far as a tip, get as much content as possible, practice with it. Even if you have footage where you didn't even have like a good day, use it anyways. Try to find, like, you know what I'm saying, something new out of, you know, the footage that you're working with. I also suggest maybe looking into DaVinci Resolve. If you do not have a video editor, DaVinci Resolve is actually a great one because it's a super powerful system that is free. Freaking free. Check that out. And if you ever see Mr. OT, make sure you shoot him like 2-3 times for me. Hell yeah.
See, this is one thing that I love about our community, is that how we are so far apart, but yet we are so close through the power of shooting each other. Isn't that great? But on a serious note, I want to give a huge thank you to Soda241, Joker Tactical, Pheas Airsoft, and my boy Hale Airsoft. These guys didn't have to put in the time and work that they did for this video, but they decided to do it for the community, and honestly, I couldn't thank them any much more. Also, to kind of give you an update, I recently got a new computer for a birthday present, so I want to thank my brother, mom, dad, want to thank them for that. I'm very grateful for it. So the quality is going to be a little bit different. I'm still working things out because I want to let you in on something. I actually edit all my videos on my phone. Yeah, I know, shocker, right? This is my first time actually editing on DaVinci Resolve. Thanks to Hale and Pheas Airsoft for mentioning that to me. I love it. It's been incredible. It's very, very easy. If I can give one piece of advice to anybody who wants to get into doing gameplay videos, being a content creator, if you are running multiple cameras, choose one audio source. It does make a difference when you hear a sound here, this and this. The audio is completely different. This is good, this is bad. I'm just letting you know. But on a serious note, thank you again for tuning into this video. I really appreciate it. We're almost to 500 subs. This is incredible, guys. More awesome content coming soon. I'll see you guys next time.